Hey there, friendlies, how's up? Welcome to another episode of my fantabulous YouTubeage. What do I got for you tonight? Very simple. Knife. Actually, it's a knife kit. This is a Grohmann No4 belt knife, which I bought from Bushcraft Canada. So, you know what that means. This is not a paid endorsement. I bought this with my own monies, and I'm going to put it together and tell you what I think. So, when you buy the kit, okay, it's sort of partly done. You get a bit of 150 grit sandpaper, which I believe is to finish off the handle with. You get a sheath that is already done, a lanyard for the scales. Here is the knife itself. It's just your standard No4. Okay. Here is sharpening instructions. Here are the instructions for the kit itself. It's just, gotta love a Grohmann, eh? It's almost like a photocopy. We got the hardware to put the scales on. And here are the scales. These are the rosewood scales. We've got a little catalog and stuff in there. So, how do we put this knife together? That is my bill. That's not the instructions. Place 3 hollow rivets in a handle from the countersunk side, then put on knife and other handle. Place on a solid surface. Carefully hammer in solid rivets, keeping them straight until they are flush with handle. Over hammering may crack the wood. Use care. Once handle is tight, sand until smooth. Shine on buffing wheel or use non-toxic tongue oil. And then carefully peel off protective covering on blade. So, let's put the sharp part over here and take a look at what we got. I'm going to move the camera though. First off, we try to open this little baggie. And we're going to dump these into the well of my bench so that there's no chance of them rolling off onto the ground. So here's the thing. It says place 3 hollow rivets in a handle from the countersunk side. Okay? They're both countersunk. So, I mean, in terms of... Look, I'm a stickler for this stuff because I'm a tech writer by trade. Gotta write your instructions better, guys. Alright, so... 1 hollow bolt. See? Can you see that? It's hollow. 2 hollow thangs, and just out of curiosity, if I went in from the other side, it kind of seems that it very slightly goes in better on this side. What's going on, Grohmann, guys? Whoops! Oh my land! Oh, okay, it's going in better on that side, so I guess there's some magical... Alright, boom. No, let's lay it here so that you guys can see what I'm doing. Okay, so there we have one side. And then we take the knife and we put it on. There's 2. Okay, so you got to jiggle it a little bit here, guys. You got to work with it a little bit. Okay, there we go. Oh, rats. There we go. Okay, now we're through. Now we take the other side and we put it on. Right? Yes. And now we take the non-hollow half of the bolts and we poundy those on. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna do this on my log because I don't want to be pounding directly into this and dinging it up for nothing. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. Okay, excuse the PJs here, guys. It's fairly late at night here. I'm using a fairly small hammer, so I don't want to overdo it. Now, do we? I'll put in the first one and tap it in a bit. I'm trying not to tap too hard here because I don't want to do anything. I don't want to damage anything here. Yeah, see? I wonder if I can put this on something. Give me a second here. This is turning into the most bushcraft knife build ever. There we go. There's a piece of metal. And it's one I don't have to worry about because I haven't restored it yet. Oh, that's pretty flush. Not on this side yet. So, put that right there. Put the hollow guy right back in there. Put another one in. Start it off on the chopping block. Whoops. Is this showing up all right on the camera? I can't really see it too well here. All right. Lay it on the axi-poo. I mean, it's not perfect, but damn, it's okay. Ever onward. I mean, they're not perfectly aligned, but they're aligned enough that with a little bit of persuasion, you end up, hopefully, unless I duff this up, grabbing defeat from the jaws of victory and all that. Whoops, look at that. Come on, Holmes. Well, we're flush on that side. We just gotta... Almost. A little bit more. This is where I rack it, right? Okay. Okay, that's flush enough that sanding it is going to correct any issues. So the next step is to take this sandpaper and sand the handle, the scales, until they're nice and smooth. Now look, these are not expensive knives and it shows in many ways. Like, I don't know if you can see this, but there's a big ridge, like where this one does not line up properly with the metal, but this one does, right? And there's a matching difference here just because the hole on this scale was not placed properly. Bit of a ridge here, but I mean, this is an unfinished knife handle, so that is perfectly acceptable. That's irritating. That's a big difference. That's going to take a lot of sanding to fix. Enough complaining. Let's get to it. I think essentially what you're supposed to be sanding out is, like, can you see like those circles where the drill obviously went and kind of bottomed out on the scale? I don't want to do anything with this knife tonight that doesn't come with the kit, right? So I'm going to use this sandpaper and I'm going to do what I can with it. Use the knife, you know, as it came, essentially. And then later on, I may get my belt sander out and really sort of reshape the handle a bit. But for now, I just want to build the kit, have the kit, use the kit so that I can give you guys an honest opinion about how good the kit actually is. Now, at 150 grit, like, it would take a really long time with 150 grit to fix that. But it's already kind of working well on this side of the scales. So let's try it this way, shall we? Because what we're doing here is two things. A, smoothing out the unfinished wood, and B, grinding down where these bolts have sort of been left proud by the hammering. It's already pretty flat. All right, that's not even 10 minutes of sanding, and already that's pretty smooth. Smell of sanded rosewood. So here's what we're talking about, just hand sanded, okay? It's pretty smooth. Versus the unfinished side, right? Much rougher. You know, as I said before, the circles where I guess the collet or something on the drill bottomed out on the wood. But I mean, really easy to fix. So we're going to do the other side now. I just wanted to make sure that you guys saw the difference before I went to town on this side. I don't know if doing it this way is actually an improvement. Yeah, get some of the gunge out of there. I do like it when I get this bench all dirtied up like this. Shows a little use. I just thought of something. Should I be wearing a mask while I'm sanding rosewood? Do any of you guys know if this is a bad wood to? Let me get my mask just in case. I'm gonna feel real silly if I didn't have to worry about this, but better safe than sorry, eh? There we go. So, I guess now the only thing left to do is to remove the tape. What Grohmann cleverly calls the protective coating. The protective covering. It's painter's tape. There it is. Still just a little schmutzy, but you know what? We're just going to deal with it for now. I'll go and wash it up and oil it up later. Interestingly, this blade does not have a stamp on it to tell me if it's stainless or carbon, which is funny. Let's see how Grohmann sends it to us. Oh. Actually, that's pretty good. Typically, I would be oiling this handle like right away, but I'm not going to do that because I can tell you right now with sort of the ridges and everything, I'm going to get hot spots all over the place. So I'm eventually, probably pretty damn soon actually, going to have to take that to my belt sander or something. Not sure yet. So, what are my thoughts? Okay. Number 4 is a classic with good reason. It's a good shape for skinning, you know, for doing all kinds of sort of like food prep and stuff like that. This grind is not ideal for that. If there was one in stock, I would have taken a flat grind because I would like this to be a food prep knife. It's a very nice shape. I've tried number 4s that other people have had very, very briefly. So I'm looking forward to getting used to the shape and, you know, getting to know this style of knife in a more thorough way. I haven't put the lanyard on, but who cares? It's a lanyard. You guys don't need to see that on there. And I will probably put a blaze orange paracord lanyard on anyway. So there it is. That's my thoughts about this. The sheath looks pretty good. You know, I like a dangler, but I like the sort of the classic charm of these Grohmann knives, how they all look like they come straight from the 1950s. As with most Grohmanns, we're talking about a machine stitched sheath, right? We're not talking about a hand stitched sheath at all. Do we have a hole in it? Yeah, but it does have a drainage hole. So, pretty good. I'm looking forward to trying this knife out. And that was a very easy kit to build. The only issue I have is this is a 150. I think it should come with an 80 and a 150. You're not going to add a whole lot onto the price, and they should be twice as long. This is an awkward size for what we're trying to do here, especially if you're putting it down and trying to rub the scales across it rather than doing it this way. Aside from that, I would call this kit a big win. Okay, so there we are. Thanks for hanging out with me on this little knife build and initial thoughts video. As I always say, if you like what I'm doing, please do the following 3 things. 1, comment down below. Did that look easy enough that you would buy one? Second thing, share this video. That helps me more than you can possibly imagine. And third, leave me a smiley thumb. If you don't like what I'm doing, that's okay. Leave me a frowny thumb. Thanks for watching, guys.